Hey guys, Lewis here and welcome to the next episode of my Informed Player Review series. Today we have probably the coolest card we will see released this year, and that is the Brazilian central defensive midfielder Melo, in goal as a bronze. Yep, you did hear me right. We have an 81 rated gold player with some boosted goalkeeper stats that is able to play in bronze teams. So, in case you aren't aware, in the 90th minute or so of his game for Galatasaray, his goalkeeper was sent off, and this resulted in the other team having a penalty that they could have the opportunity to equalise. So in steps Melo and he saves the penalty, giving his team the win, and he's celebrated with some kind of weird type crawl that you should probably check out. Anyway, as you can see on the screen, he has 3-star weak foot, and he is now the only goalkeeper in the game with 2-star skill moves. At 6 feet tall, he's a decent size for an outfield player, but rather on the short side. Well, not on the short side, but not very tall for a goalkeeper, we shall say. However, if you are paying over 200,000 to have this guy as a goalkeeper, you are making a very big mistake. As a goalkeeper, he is about as good as an outfield player playing in goal can be. He made a few decent saves for me that I was rather impressed with, but he is no better, and in fact probably worse than most 64 bronze keepers. He has decent reflexes for a goalkeeper, and he dives the right way for nearly all of the shots, but if he does actually manage to save any of them, he will pretty much only parry it out and has trouble catching. If however you are determined to have him in goal, then an area that he does excel in, because he is very quick for a goalkeeper, claiming corners is pretty easy as he can get off the line and get to the ball very quickly. But apart from this, I didn't notice much improvements from a normal goalkeeper, and even his kicking wasn't as good as I hoped. Now I'll tell you why this guy is probably the best bronze player we will ever see this year. Firstly, his in-game stats can be seen in the bottom right corner of the screen as always. Every stat is either in the yellow or in the green. His standing and sliding tackles are 83 and 79 respectively. His short and long passes are 79 and 83. He has 76 long shots with 83 power. His pace is in the mid-70s, and this is also backed up with 82 strength. So when you think that this player is a 64 rated bronze with the stats of a gold player, you can really understand why his price tag is on the expensive side. If you're going to get Melo, the first thing you should do at the start of every game is to sub him straight out onto the pitch. To do this, you actually need to sub him to the bench for a goalkeeper, and then from the bench sub him straight back onto the pitch for the outfield player that you originally wanted to trade him for. I actually found this leaves him playing in a goalie top, and given the appearance that you have two goalkeepers on the pitch. I actually made a video showing that, so I'll leave the link in the description if you want to check that out. But because of this, it means you're playing Melo out on the pitch in a goalkeeper top, which means that as he's the best player on the team, you can spot him quite easily. It also means that he is very easy to get 9 chem at the start of the game, as any Brazilian centre-backs will do the trick. Then you have the option to pretty much play him anywhere on the pitch. I tested him all over the pitch in every position imaginable, and the only positions he wasn't very effective was playing left mid and right mid. But anywhere through the middle and you are pretty much sorted, having a player that is well above the standard of his opposition. If you need a solid centre-back, Melo can do the job. If you need a centre-mid who can win tackles, make a pass or hit a long shot, Melo can do the job. If you want someone to sit behind your strikers and feed them through balls or take a shot from outside the area, Melo can also do that job. You can even play him up front and he will still bag you tons of goals. So what you have here is the most versatile player on the game, and one that if you come across in a bronze tournament, you certainly need to look out for him. As always, I try to get the reviews out as soon as possible. They've been released in packs, so the prices should always be taken as an idea of what he's selling for in the first couple of days. However, he does appear to have quite a high pull rate, so his price could drop to around the 150k mark on the Xbox. I was lucky enough to have someone lend me Melo to make this review, and after a dozen or so games, I know for certain I'll be making the purchase. If there was ever a justification for paying several 100,000 for a bronze player, this is your man. Not just for the comedy value of having an outfield player in goal, but for the fact that he has the stats of a gold player, and he's able to play in bronze teams. So essentially, if you enjoy playing with bronzes, which I imagine you do, seeing as you're watching the Bronze Inform review, and have ever considered paying the expensive prices for the players such as the Inform Sinclair Graben or Akin Fenwa that we've seen recently, then this decision should be a lot easier for you. He is so much more fun to use, whether you want to dominate out on the pitch or even try and do a 2-star skill run from your goalkeeper. and he is a player that I would certainly recommend for any bronze team if you have the coins. On the screen is how my team looked in the game. As you can see, I favoured him in the central defensive midfielder spot, but I strongly emphasise that he can play pretty much anywhere on the pitch. If you have a weak spot in your team, he can pretty much fill it. So that brings us to the end of the review. I'd like to thank you for watching, and I'd also like to say a personal thank you to Steve-O for lending me Melo to bring you this review. If you did enjoy it and found it useful, make sure you let me know by hitting the like button, and be sure to subscribe if you want to see more inform reviews in the future. If there is a bronze or silver inform already that you want me to see review, feel free to let me know in the comment section below.
Hey, guys, you're working solid, subscribe to Sir Lewis.